Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a very important video wherein we are going to try and analyze the reasons for the current market fall. I'm sure everyone is really interested to know whether it is Adani Group which is the reason for this market fall or not. We are going to discuss about this reason particularly, but towards the end of the video, because otherwise I'm sure everyone will be like, just read, just understand that part, then write whatever comments either for or against and just leave the video, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first try and do a 360-degree analysis and try and understand what could be the reasons of this market fall. First and foremost, we have to compare India with all other major players. I have to compare India with all other global markets. First and foremost, if I were to compare it with US markets performance, S&P 500 markets performance, this market is down by almost 16.3% from its peak. If I were to compare it with Chinese markets are almost 32% from their recent peak. Russian markets are down almost 48% from its peak, and Indian markets are barely 6.6% down from its peak. Now, if I were to compare the P multiple of Indian market versus Chinese market, Indian market currently is trading at a 20x ka P multiple, whereas the Chinese markets are available only at a P multiple of 10x to 12x. This could be the reason why I feel Chinese markets seem to be more attractive right now as compared to the Indian markets. So, what has this led to? If I were to check the data of FPIs pulling out money from the Indian markets, obviously, if FIs are going to sell and sell and sell, of course, it will have a negative impact on Indian markets. Till roughly 20th January, FPIs had pulled over 15,000 crores from Indian markets. And if I check the latest data on money control, as on date, that is as on 31st January, FPIs, or basically foreign institutional investors, have pulled out almost 31,000 crores from Indian markets. Okay, whatever data points I'm using, all the links you'll find there in the description box below, right? Now, if I were to compare that with Chinese market. So if the foreign institutions are pulling out money from the Indian market, question is, where are they investing? They are majorly investing in China right now, because if I were to understand how much have they invested in the first 9 trading days of this new year, that is still from this January, I'm talking about 2023, first 9 trading sessions, they have bought, foreign investors have bought almost 64 billion yuan, that is 9.5 billion US dollars in the Chinese market. And just for comparison, if you are not sure that whether this 64 billion yuan is this a big number or not, let me tell you that in the entire year 2022, they bought stocks worth 90 billion yuan. So entire year 2022, 90 billion worth 90 billion yuan worth stocks bought. Vis-a-vis, if I were to talk about this 2023 first 9 trading sessions, it's 64 billion. So I think first point is very clear. Why our markets are falling? It could be because FPIs are pulling money from our market and they are investing in the Chinese market. Number two reason why I feel this could have led to the fall is the results update. I hope you're tracking the quarter 3 results of FY23. And if I were to check out the data of Nifty 500 companies, out of 174 companies which have declared their results so far, as I shoot the video today on 31st, almost 58 companies could report EBITDA margin growth. So now you can understand, only barely one third companies are reporting an EBITDA margin growth. Two-third are showing a degrowth in EBITDA margins. What could be the reason? Possible reason definitely could be the inflation impact. This was Nifty 500 data. What about Nifty 50 data? Only 28 companies out which have declared the results so far from the Nifty 50 category. Only 12 companies could report an EBITDA margin growth on a year on year basis. So for Nifty 50, it's barely one half of the companies, and in Nifty 500, it's barely one third of the companies that have reported EBITDA margin growth. Now, the third point, if you were to understand this, this is called as the yield inversion curve. I'm sure you might have heard about this somewhere or the other, but if you're not really sure on exactly what yield inversion curve is, do let me know in the comment section below. I would love to share a separate, or I would love to make a separate video on that as well, right? But as of now, what I would want to do is I would want to share my screen. So, slideshow, I hope this would be visible. This talks about the yield curve inversion. Now, if you see here, if this one goes below zero, it means that a yield curve inversion has happened. The moment there was a yield curve inversion, you can see this gray line. This shows that yes, a recession happened. Again, second time yield inversion happened, again followed by a gray line. Yes, recession did again hit the market. Third time, yes, again recession. Fourth time, yes, you can see again a recession. Again here, again a gray line. Again here, again a gray line. Same thing has happened. And if you see, this is where we are right now. This is most inverted since 1981. This yield inversion, we are talking about a 10-year yield minus a 1 year yield. So I hope this also makes you understand that what is the relevance of this yield inversion. And if this be so, we are still in the fear that yes, 2023 could be a year where we may have to face recession. What do you feel? Russia Ukraine war done and dusted? Do you feel markets are not even bothering to look at that? There are updates that keep on coming, and definitely market is keeping not a major eye on that, but it is trying to understand, are there any updates on this or not. I'm sure you might have read in the news that major countries, be it Germany, UK, USA, Canada, they are kind of supporting Ukraine right now. Of course, I'm not a geopolitical expert. Whatever I read in the news, that is why I'm trying to make some sense out of it and trying to present it in front of you. But this has not been taken, the support by these Western countries, that has not been taken positively by Russia, and they are fuming right now at this decision. And Russia in fact made a statement that as if they have crossed their lines. And I don't know what could this lead to, but we have to keep an eye on this as well. And last but not the least would be the Adani issue. I'm sure everyone has seen n number of videos on YouTube, or be it in on the television, about the Hindenburg report, about Adani's response. Everyone talking about all these points. Everyone is presenting their expert views on that. I personally believe that whatever is the case, whether Hindenburg has given any report, I tried to go through the report, no doubts on that. I tried to go through the response as well. But I feel that just based on the report, me taking sides is not fair. Because if Hindenburg has done a research about Adani's for 2 years, me reading the report for 2 hours and giving my own opinion doesn't make sense. Neither me talking about Adanis who have given their response in whatever 2 days, but it is so long. Even if I try to rush through the highlights, me making some sense out of that and taking sides, I don't feel there is a logic for that. So I'm neither on Adani side nor I'm on Hindenburg side. वो थ्री इडियट्स का सीन याद आ गया, हम साइंस के साइड से है, सिमिलरली हम मार्केट्स के साइड से है. Was this a reason for the market fall? Was this Hindenburg report a reason for the market fall? I personally feel yes. In Marathi we say कावळा बसायला आणि फांदी तुटायला. Means what? There are a lot of things which are there in the market, but there is one issue which comes up, and because of which there is a crackdown. And I feel that this crackdown was because of this report. But then we have to understand how the price has behaved in the last few days. I'm sure everyone has also seen about the Adani FPO. Today, Adani FPO closed. Day before yesterday, it was subscribed 0.03 times. Till yesterday 0.06, and today it is fully subscribed. Okay, will can this lead to some positive sentiment? Probably yes. My Gujarati friends always say bhav bhagwan che. So try and analyze how prices move. Before this Hindenburg report, I remember there was a report by credit sites. So what I did was I tried to analyze, I tried to correlate what happened immediately after Hindenburg report, after credit sites report. I'm giving this as a homework to you all. You can check it out for yourself. Released somewhere around 22nd August or so, right? From that day till the high that Adani saw, it was a 33.8% up move. And if I were to compare the Nifty returns in the same time frame, Nifty had moved upwards barely by 1.5%. Now, what happens in this case? Retail individual investors, we will say, "Well, I'm not going to invest, very, very high debt leverage, this, that." It's okay. Everyone has their own call. Is high debt a problem? Yes. Is a high PE a problem? Yes. So it is everyone's choice. I'm just talking about the price movement that has happened, right? So did retail individual investors miss the rally? Yes. But did Adani stock correct a lot after that as well? Absolutely. In fact, the week where this Hindenburg report came up, single week, this stock has corrected by almost 20%. So I hope everyone will try and analyze this current market fall, which may have started because of Adani. I personally feel that this might not be the only reason for the fall. Let's try and visualize that, assuming hypothetically this issue gets resolved. Okay. Do you think market will zoom up straight to 22,000? I don't feel so. Why? Because whatever points I discussed right now as to India's market being overvalued as compared to other emerging markets like China, Russia, Ukraine, yield inversion, and all other two, three important points that I discussed in these videos, these points still loom fear over the market. So I feel we have to understand single issues like Adani's, but I think this is just one of the issues that these are there in the market right now. So please don't panic immediately, please don't be greedy immediately. Think aram se. There is a lot of time in the market, don't try to time the market. And this video again, I'm sure even if I tell, everyone is going to write down in the comment section, sponsored whatnot. बता रही हूँ, दिल से बता रही हूँ, this is not a sponsored video. I just tried to analyze this from all the angles rather than only from one angle which I'm seeing on YouTube, that everyone is talking only about one thing. So I tried to make a 360-degree analysis about the current market fall. Disclaimer again, of course everyone knows that whatever I talked about Adani, this is nowhere close to a buying advice. This whatever analysis I've done, it's only from an educational perspective. So I'm sure there is one more very important event that is coming up in the market tomorrow. Everyone knows about that. Maybe budget, could that be also one reason why market has fallen? I've not covered that in today's video. Is it something that the market knows but people like you and me, we don't know about it? So only time will tell whether this fall is because of whatever reasons we discussed, or is it because of some other news that we don't know. I want you all to tell me in the comment section why you feel stock markets corrected in the last few days. I hope you enjoyed this one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.